regalo.
Regalo. Oh my goodness.
It's like she's
Guys,
staring
this is
straight
beautiful.
into me.
Hi guys, welcome to Bread with the Sisters, and today we have Raven and Gabi, and we're going to be talking about modesty.
Yes, modesty. So what is modesty?
I think for me, modesty is a way to dignify yourself and to dress in a way that is pleasing to God.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that's awesome, actually.
Okay.
And there's a scripture that says it very, very well, pretty accurately. And it's in 1 Corinthians 6. And it says, "The body, however, is not meant for sexual immorality, but for the Lord, and the Lord for the body. By his power, God raised the Lord from the dead, and he will raise us also. Do you not know that your bodies are members of Christ himself? Shall I then take the members of Christ and unite them with a prostitute? Never. Do you not know that he who unites himself with a prostitute is one with her in body? For it is said, the two will become one flesh. But whoever is united with the Lord is one with him in spirit."
Wow, there's a lot that's being said in there.
That's a lot to
Jam
break
packed.
down.
That whoever unites himself with
With a prostitute, unites himself with their flesh, or is one with her in body.
wow.
The two will become one flesh. But whoever is united with the Lord is one with him in spirit.
Wow. So what do you think, like, in the culture now, everybody's like, I love the Lord, but I can wear whatever I want to wear. Like, I'm looking good for Jesus. Like, I can wear shorts and come to mass. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't need to be wearing, like,
But do you
like a
actually
grandma.
keep him in mind when you
Yeah,
dress that
the
way?
idea also is like, who are you doing this for and why are you dressing this way? Is it really for yourself, or are you trying to gain attention? Is it for like to get like pleasure or things like that? Like, what is the reason for that? Is it for self-validation? Because most of the time it usually isn't for you to be dressing that way.
Right. And then the next question would be is, who is God? If you say that this is okay and you're a Christian woman or Christian man, and you're saying you're dressing for God, okay, who is this Lord that you serve then? And what esteem do you put him on that you would come to him dressed in that way? It's kind of like we get invited to a big fancy ball, right? We're all being welcomed into this ball. How do you come dressed for that ball? What is your
booty
attire
shorts,
of the evening, right? Because there's a certain level of esteem that you're going to want to hold yourself to, because you know the presence that you're going to be in.
You're coming to the presence of the Creator.
Exactly.
And when you're coming to the presence of the Creator, like, you can see even when Moses went to appear before God, he would even take his shoes off, because this is holy ground. Like, you can't even go into the presence of God, because even those times, if people even saw God, they would die, because he's so holy and so powerful. So, but when we come dressed in the presence of God, or we claim that we are disciples of Christ and we don't reflect that, to me, I feel like it's inconsistent, because it's more like we are trying to appease ourselves and we are disguising that in the name that we are dressing for God.
And it's scripture based, like the way that you should present yourself to the world and to God in a physical way, and how you should be dressing. So like you said, it's very inconsistent if you're calling yourself a Christian and then not dressing like one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because God gives you very specific rules as to how you should be dressing and presenting yourself. So if you're not following those teachings, then what's the kind of the point?
So what would you suggest would be like, what do you think is modest to you?
There's like a lot of different variations, and I think like a big reason, like especially me, when I was growing up, people want to push back on this because people are telling you what to do. But I think like my grandma, like I was telling you guys earlier, she always says, dress in a way that like you would not be ashamed to be in front of Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Like, if I was to be in booty shorts and like have my assets out, I probably would not want God to see me like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So dressing
because that means that you don't even respect yourself. You have no value for yourself.
Yeah,
Like, you're
absolutely.
seeking
You don't respect
attention,
him.
and you're craving that attention from other people to be validated.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but even then, like, so what do you think? Is it appropriate to wear shorts to the beach?
Yeah, and I think context is also very important too. Like, I'm not gonna go to the beach in sweatpants, like not show my legs, But like, I'm not gonna wear super short like booty shorts. I'm gonna wear shorts because it's probably super hot outside that are appropriate. You know what I mean? Not super tight.
Because I think the point of it all is that, and again, it goes back, are you just appeasing your nature?
Right.
And so what does it mean to appease that very basic nature? Because if you go back to Adam and Eve, and if you believe as Christians, they are the start of it all. Okay, their exact very nature was created to be good. But the moment that they committed sin, their nature was corrupted, which means our very nature is corrupted. So to appease yourself to those natures, to that desires, is to be caught up in the lure of your own lusts, your own selfishness.
Right. And it's like, are you wearing these things because you want to, or because the world wants you? Or is like in this world, that's how you should.
No, but
be
you know,
dressing
like
as a
some
woman.
people, like you told me that story, like, you know, the husband, the lady was wearing a certain kind of outfit, and
Oh, yes.
and can you
What
tell
does
us
he
about
say?
it?
Yeah, okay, so there was this woman, she was telling us a story about, she went out with her husband one night, and she was wearing these shorts. She didn't think anything of it when she put it on, she says, but when she went out, this man was commenting, going like, hey, I'm mamacita, like, you know, like, look at mama, like, girl, those, what did he say? She said, he said, I can't believe you had like kids, or I don't know, something along those lines. And then she goes, oh, wow, I didn't realize that would like get that kind of reaction. You know, and she was like, it made me
But
second guess.
the husband was living for that
But
moment.
the husband was living for it, and because she goes to her husband, she's like, you know, I didn't realize I would do this. And he goes, no, you're Latina. It's in our culture. This is what we do. You show your body.
Really?
That's what it was.
Wow.
So I mean,
So
what,
it's like-
what are your thoughts on that? I mean,
Yeah, like as a husband, why would you want other men looking at your wife in that
Yeah.
yeah,
disrespectful
because
way?
I've had men
Straight-
say like, I don't want other men
Yeah.
looking at
Yeah.
my wife
But
or my
see,
woman
it's
like that.
what are you appeasing?
That's not Latin culture, by the way. Like
Yeah.
showing like that's like so
But to
ridiculous.
associate it with the culture,
Yeah.
and knowing that so many times do people associate things with the culture because that's what the culture is doing. And it's like, granted, yes, that's what the culture is doing. But what is God calling you to do? What is that higher step?
Absolutely.
Because again, if you're calling yourself Christian, you're not trying to appease yourself, to run with the flow of the culture. We're always trying to elevate ourselves to the next level. God, I want to make myself greater for you. So what's the next thing you are calling me to do? Yes, I know this is what everyone else is doing, but I know the man that you are. And the man that you are, you were never one to be loved by everyone. You were always alone. There was only a small group of you, and everyone else was outsiders.
Yeah, and I think also it's very important to differentiate yourself, because it's like, how can the world know like, oh, I'm a disciple, if you're walking around in booty shorts and the other person
You
is
wanna be a
walking,
good example,
Yeah,
absolutely,
like
yeah.
how are you reflecting Christ? How can people see Christ in you if they see you like, oh, you know, just 'cause-
Sensual,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So even the attention is not
Ungodly
yeah,
things.
it's not, the attention is not towards Christ, the attention is towards yourself, and that's pride. It comes off as pride, because you shouldn't, in the way you speak, in the way you present yourself, it should be modest and reflect instead the glory, and everything that you do should reflect the life of Christ
and
in you, versus take away or draw the attention to
Like
yourself.
I said, how would you want to be addressed? You should dress the way you would like to be addressed. Do you want to be addressed as a child of God, as a woman of God, or do you want to be addressed as a woman of this world? You know?
Yeah.
And it goes to show that it's not just outward. The exterior, it's just a sign of what is happening on the inside.
Yeah, I
you know?
respect myself.
So what do you think of modesty in men? What
Oh my
would be
God.
It goes both ways. Men
And
need to be
yeah.
modest as well. Like, if you should not be walking around trying, like I said, show your assets. Like, if you're walking around like shirtless,
or a
and
man,
you
a
wanna.
man wearing shorts to mass?
I'm not saying that's not
It's
immodest.
not,
It's
it's
not
more of a lack of respect.
Yeah.
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 So,
don't
but I
know if
think
it's
that's
immodest,
under
though.
modesty. Lack
Yeah.
of respect is immodest, because you should be modest in the way you carry yourself, in the way you know,
Yeah.
showing respect for whatever. It's
I
like,
don't want to see pants so tight that I see the outline of
Right.
your crotch.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
with women. It's
Yeah,
like,
because it's like you're going to a courthouse. You're not just going to come in front of the judge, so and you know where, and you think the judge is going to hear your
Yeah.
case and have some respect for you. So if you're coming to God, your own Creator, and you're just walking around recklessly, like you have no respect, and you expect Him to, you know, like respect you back when you show no respect for even yourself. To me, I just feel like that's inconsistent. So I think it also goes for the men, just dressing and reflecting the glory of God in the way we present ourselves to the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are your favorite modest pieces?
modest pieces. Okay. May I stand? So I love dresses for one. There's a feel about
So feminine.
wearing a dress is so feminine. And honestly, and it's not that I'm against pants at all. It's just when you wear a dress, you feel
carry
more
yourself differently,
womanly.
yeah.
It's like you're elegant. You glide in a way, you know? And then you want to be taken a certain way. Like you feel like royalty.
I'm listening.
Yes, you
Royalty.
But it's so true. Like even how I prepare myself in the morning, it's like when you know that you're dressing normal than your just casual outfit, there's these underlayers that you put, and there's this attention, this care to detail that you want to add to it to make sure, okay, do I look nice? Does
No,
this
but a woman is beautiful, and I feel like we need to exude that, especially in the culture where it's like we're trying to strip that femininity away from the women. I think it's very important that we retain that beauty, because there's just a certain beauty about being a woman, because I love being a woman, and I want to exude that, and there's just certain beauty that is so unique that a man can exude that beauty, but a woman cannot exude that. So, sorry, I think I meant the other way.
A man cannot.
Yeah, and I like being a woman, and I thank God for creating me a woman. So, and I want to reflect that in the way I speak, in the way I present myself. So I love it. I love being
how do you
feminine.
reflect it in your way of dress?
Well, I do like long dresses. I think there's something beautiful about long dresses. You know, it's like you're so confident about yourself, and you don't need to prove anything to anybody by showing more. So, and I think it just looks so beautiful, like you said.
You have more to offer than just your body.
Yeah, and you want people to hear what you have to say, to look at the outside versus trying to see what is beyond where they need to be looking. So, yeah, I think I tend to go for long.
Shall we stand, ladies?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have a nice maxi dress. And like I said before, I'm 5'1", so I have a pretty high wedge on to kind of make myself look a little bit longer, a little bit taller. And I didn't really like the sleeves that much, so I put a jacket over it. And I also do a good jean jacket, because it kind of, you can wear it up or you can wear it down. Yeah. Especially with a wedge, for sure.
You know what I love about this dress is
and it's also very youthful, you know.
And it's very
youthful. It reflects my age and where I'm at in life.
That's a good point, because I was just going to say that. I'm like, it's so youthful and springy, and
I don't want to dress too old or too young, so I guess I'm kind of right in the middle.
I think you look beautiful. And I love the jean jacket. So you can make it casual, or you can dress it up if you want.
Absolutely. I wore this to mass today.
I like the little pigtail too. What is that
the
called?
braid?
The Grecian braid.
Like to the head? Yeah.
Yes.
I always do that.
Monica?
I think it's called
A Grecian braid.
Yeah. It's called Grecian braid. Yeah. So
it's nice and quick and easy. Yeah.
And Raven, I like that style, because I feel like you're giving off some Kennedy.
Do you
some Kennedy vibes, some presidential vibes.
Yeah, some Kennedy vibe. What do you think?
I don't know.
And I like the miraculous medal as an accessory.
Thank you.
That's the only accessory that you actually need. Forget everything else.
No, this is honestly one of my favorite dresses to wear, because it's like, it's very lightweight.
Breathable.
I can move. It's breathable.
Yeah.
It's a long dress. It's not too tight, so I don't feel uncomfortable about sitting, or they're directing me. I don't feel uncomfortable about sitting or having to like readjust myself. It just flows with me, and it still gives like it's a nice cut with my frame, and it's a nice style. Like important. I can dress it up, dress it down if I want. I chose to put a little wrap on, and I think it's beautiful. And I did some little wedges today, so yeah.
I like it.
And I love to be like chic, elegant, yet carefree.
There it is.
Okay.
I think you did that perfectly, and the color reflects that.
Oh, thank you, Monica. You're just full of compliments. Why don't you step your beautiful self up so we can see? Come on, regality.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
So I love long skirts, as you can see. And I do love to accessorize. I like to keep my accessories very simple. As you can see, I have my Benedictine medals on there. These are Benedictine medals. If you don't know, just Google Benedictine medals. And I do like a turtleneck, because it makes you feel like a little bit elegant, you know, like you're holding back, but, you know, giving away, but holding back as well. So I do like that, because it kind of pulls everything in together. I like my head wrap, because, you know, I have to cover in church, and also I'm an African woman, so I do like to cover my head. So this is perfect in that it gives me that sense of style that I like to reflect, but at the same time, still being modest without compromising on my style.
I love fashion so much, and you can really make yourself look amazing and feminine and kind of modern and still trendy.
Yes.
Yeah. But make it in a way that's beautiful and not trashy. You know what I mean? I love maxi skirts. That's really cute. I'm very short, and so if you do it right, you can kind of elongate your legs, and then like if you wear certain things, and also long dresses too. So I always will pair it with a wedge so that I'm not, like you said, looking frumpy and tiny.
Yeah. But you learn to dress for your body, you know, to
and
make
for
it
your
right
style
and
as
for
well.
your own style.
You can still express yourself in a way that's holy
Right.
and modern, I guess.
I do love fashion as well. So, and I want to be modest, but I do appreciate, you know, God gave us all these things to enjoy it, and it's a reflection of Him in our lives as well. So I want to be able to reflect that and show the beauty of the artistry of whoever created that fabric, because that's a gift. God gave them a gift too. So, in also appreciating the artisan or whoever built that fabric is also showing that we appreciate God's gift through that to the person. So, just being able to use things in the right context and just making sure that we appreciate the beauty of it without idolizing it or not like spending all day. And then also I do feel also like also simplicity is also very important in modesty. Sometimes it's like you don't want to put 100 rings on your finger and bracelets and just a million things. I think it's simplicity is also part of being modest. Absolutely. And also how you speak is also part of being modest. Like you can't be like cussing out like a sailor, you know. You have to watching your language. And I think I love the Victorian times because those ladies were very cultured, you know. They studied and they were learned, you know, and they could discuss, you know, subjects, you know, and to me that's modest, you know, being able to nourish your mind and engaging in a meaningful conversation, but it's just a reckless conversation and just cussing off all day, like
word
to me
vomit.
Like to me that's not modest. So it's in your speech,
you should be saying meaningful things.
And I think it comes from, it's like, what are you delving into? Are you delving into just your sensual pleasures? Because that's what we get from that, even with the cursing. It gives us this like sensual pleasure. Oh yeah, I'm doing this. Like it riles you up. So we do these things that
bless you.
It almost
okay, sorry.
Almost to feed our ego and our basic like instincts, like our lower nature. And it's like, are we truly just animals though? Who just prowl around to eat, have sex, and then that's it? It's like, no. God gave us a conscience for a reason. Soul. He gave us a soul for a reason. That's what makes us distinguished between animals and humans.
And by that, just another comment I wanted to make. To me, when I think of modesty, like to me, the model of modesty is the Blessed Mother. I think she's the epitome of modesty. She's very simple, very humble, so graceful. She's so beautiful. Yet God raised her to be the mother of God. But within that, she was still humble.
A woman.
Humble and modest. So to me, she wasn't like me. Afraid. She was a powerful but simple woman, but to me that is all. If I'm looking at modesty and femininity and beauty of womanhood, that is who my true model is, and that's who I want to reflect, my Blessed Mother.
Possibly just with airplane. Just one question before the wrap out. Maybe this might be kind of nice. Like, what is like the first steps for like maybe like a girl who's...
This is a great question,
who's like, she's kind of thinking about modesty, maybe that's what she's being called for, she can feel that, but like, where to get started, what's the philosophy, what's the first steps to get into, and then we'll go to the wrap out.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So no, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I had this kind of journey too. Like, I used to wear short shorts and tight pants and low-cut shirts, and I realized the same thing. I was like, who am I dressing for? You know, I'm obviously not dressing for Christ. I'm dressing for myself. I'm dressing to get men's attention on me, their eyes on me. So once you kind of make that realization, is like, wow, I'm not dressing for Christ, then you can make that first step into like cleaning out your closet. But you can always keep some pieces that you have and kind of make them modest as well. But absolutely, like, just kind of looking at your closet and seeing, okay, what in here am I wearing that is not for Christ, you know?
Yeah, for me, like, one thing that, I mean, I wasn't that extreme, but you know, everybody has had her moment. But the thing, after I went through my conversion, the thing that my mom told me, she never even for once told me like, oh, Monica, you can't wear that, but she said, you know, the Blessed Mother herself will change you. And indeed, I see every day, as I get closer to her and to Christ, I do realize she changes my heart to want to reflect her more. So I think what's really important is cultivating that love of God and love of Christ, and he himself will show you, and he has his mother as an example, will show you what true modesty is. So I think also cultivating that spiritual life and understanding from what context it is. For example, like we veil for mass, and you've asked me before, like, should I veil? And I said, let your heart convict you. Like, what is God calling you? Do you understand what the mass is? What is
And
going
what the purpose
on?
of veiling is as well.
And why are you veiling?
Yeah.
It's actually funny because, in the very beginning, I had asked her, like, why do you veil? Why do you put on a veil, And she goes, and she said, let your heart convict you. And then funny, months and months go by, and I end up going to a church where they don't veil. And the difference that you can see is, it's very powerful, because it can be a disruption of the flow. When a woman veils in church, it's out of respect of worship to God. But I think it's also out of respect for each other.
Yeah, and I
When
think
we're
even,
at Mass, it's like we're here to glorify God and nothing
That's
else, and nothing should be the focal point.
but when a man shouldn't be trying to
and a
look
man
under your
shouldn't,
skirt and looking this
and
way.
a woman shouldn't
And it's
feel
a great way
distracted
you
either.
really, really focus when you have a veil.
Yeah.
It's a completely different experience.
Yeah.
But even in that scripture you were reading, I think it says like the woman should cover her head because
Yes.
her honor, her glory is in her
Yes.
head,
Yeah.
and the man is the head. I think it was from that scripture that you were reading in 1 Corinthians chapter 6. But we'll share that scripture towards the end. It talks
Yeah.
about the woman. Her glory is her head, and her head should be covered. So, and that's why we cover. But I do the head wrap as well, because it's the way it's still covering. So sometimes just to change things around and to throw a little bit of flavor in the style. But as long as I keep my head covered for the sake of Christ, then at least I'm showing him respect in that way.
Right, because we shouldn't have the focus of pride, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
We're there to humble ourselves, to kneel at his feet. And how do you kneel at his feet and humble yourself if your attention is drawn elsewhere?
It helps you be more reverent as well.
Yeah. All right, guys, and just remember to please like and subscribe.
And do share with your friends.
And
'cause,
share.
Yeah.
We're trying to build discussion, and we
Yes.
want all of you to be
And
involved.
change minds.
Yeah, and also share what you have to say, because this conversation is both ways, and we want to
Yeah.
hear your thoughts as well. So like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you. Have a
Bye.
good one.